Your muscles don't grow in the gym, they grow in the time outside of it, which is why rest and recovery plays such a pivotal role in not only how you train, but your physiques and your gains. And unfortunately, I see many people destroying their progress by not resting properly. So let's dive into some tips and tricks that you can utilize into your workout regimens right now that'll drastically improve your functionality, your gains, and your physique. So let's get to it.
Understanding rest and recovery for your peak gains is going to fall into two categories: during training and outside of training. Now, we covered during training in some last videos, so be sure to check those out. But your power category of lifting is going to be 3 to 5 minutes of rest in between each and every set. This ensures your body restores its ATP as much as it can, and you're really just gaining max strength and output because you're pushing for that 80-100%. Strength, anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. This is going to give your body enough time to recover, but still stress it enough to really push for hypertrophy. Endurance, 0 to 1 minutes. You are trying to get as much done in as you can with as little rest as possible because you are pushing for that cardiovascular challenge in addition to stressing the muscles without oxygen or ATP. When it comes to outside training on those off days, the science has shown that it takes anywhere from 5 to 8 days off for your body to fully recover from your training regimen. Again, this is when you are pushing yourself. This is important to understand in terms of how you're going to structure your workouts. And when it comes to structuring those workouts, you have to know the difference between local and systemic rest. Our local rest is going to be for those muscle groups, whether it be the biceps, triceps, hamstrings, quads, and the system. This is the muscle groups that are all engaged and involved in the pushing and pulling motions, whether it be the anterior chains, the ones in the front part of the body, or the posterior chains, the ones on the back part of the body. Personally, I'm not a bodybuilder, which really does have an emphasis on more of the local structure format. But when it comes to functionality and improving bodily health, this is where you're going to be training in terms of systems. So you can't avoid not using the entirety of your body or the systems, but you can start to target and focus on which muscle groups are the primary movers, and then structuring your workouts to ensure that you're getting enough rest in between. If you're not practicing systemic deload, you're really missing out on the overall gains that the body can have. Again, when it comes to understand the systemic aspect, you're always moving, you're always doing something. So ensuring that you give the body time off is really important here. And what a systemic deload means is that you're going to take 1 week off every 2 months of training. Now, turn it into something that's really light, more yoga. You're just getting steps in for cardio. You're not really pushing the body intensely so that it really does have a chance to fully recover from the ground up. And take it a step further, by 2 weeks off once a year, you're going to take time off from training. Now, if you really still feel like you need to get into the gym, you are lifting barely any pounds, or maybe 5-10 pounds tops, and you're more focusing on like that endurance and more of an aerobic style workout. When it comes to sleep, this is when you are actually recovering, your body is rebuilding. So a good rule of thumb is sleep as much as you need to, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Ladies, you should be getting at least 10 hours anyway, but again, listen to your body, it knows best. My personal favorite, 15 minutes of cuddles and or sex has been scientifically proven to boost all of the recovery rate hormones that are involved in rebuilding your muscles. And funny enough, 15 minutes of cuddling is actually better for the body than an hour massage. So that's a fun one. And when it comes to soreness, understand it as a tool, timer, and gauge of when to train again. If your subjective knowing is anywhere from a 3 to a 10 in terms of your soreness intensity, it's your body sign that's ready to train. Usually this is just a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of warm up and like stretching tends to remedy this. But if you're anywhere from a 6 to 10 in terms of anything up and above that, it's just sore, you're doing the trust fall to the toilet, leg day, people you know what I'm talking about, then it is your sign to not train. Do something else. Focus on yoga, sauna, cold plunge. And I actually highly recommend cold plunge for the day after you have an intense training session because that is going to just amp up your recovery. And then the following day, you're going to hit the sauna. But hope you enjoyed this tips and tricks so you can gain the full understanding for your rest and recovery for peak gains. We'll be back next week with some more juicy knowledge.